All right, it is distance learning time, and I'm trying to grade all these papers and make sure that I get all my data in. And I have found that a lot of my parents are having a hard time figuring out if their kids actually did the work. They can figure that out on Monday when the grades go in and see if there's an M, a P, or an F. But until then, the kids say they did their work, but there's no real record of if it's actually done or not. So I came up with this system that lets me as a teacher send a super short, super quick note to a lot of kids at the same time that just says one thing. It says that this student got their work done. And I send this email to the kid and also whatever parent emails I have on file. So very fast, very quick way of showing the kids and the parents that, yes, indeed, the work for my class is done. So, for example, right now I was looking at some Project Lead the Way kids, and so I got a bunch of kids here. I teach several classes, but I'm just going to just look at my PLTW kids. Okay, this is my list right here, and I went over some of these guys, and this student, these students, these three right here, and this one. They all got their work done, so I just highlighted them. They're highlighted blue, so I can see these are the ones that I chose. I'm going to click Send here, and the script is going to run. It's basically going to send an email to each contact, and then, of course, the student as well. And as they go, these rows disappear. They're actually hidden rows here. And now my list is smaller. So I can look here and see, all right, these are the kids that still need to get their work done. Helps me figure out who's got to keep their work done, and also helps me let the parents and the students know what work has been done. For those of you that think this is a pretty neat system and you might like to do this yourself, I actually made a copy version that is available for anybody, and I made it super easy to use and almost unbreakable. So I'm going to take a few minutes here to show you how to use it. When you open the email copy, you're going to click the link from your email. It's going to force you to make a copy. And when you do, it's going to open up and look something like this. It's going to have a yellow part here, not a whole lot of stuff to it. Some buttons, we'll get to those in a second. And right up here in C2, it says click here for directions. And if I click here, it actually opens up, but there's a link. And this is going to open up a Google Slides presentation that is in web format, so you can't mess with it, but it will have all of the detailed instructions. So if this video goes too fast for you, or if you don't like the sound of my voice, you can just click that and read it, and that'll tell you exactly what to do also. But I'm not going to show that to you. I'll let you do that on your own if you'd like to, but here's how I do this. First of all, it's important to look at the yellow stuff. I've got name, that's the student's name. The class is the class they take, science, PLTW, ELA, math, whatever. The student email is S-email, PE email 1 and PE email 2. That's parent email 1, parent email 2, if there is a second one. You don't necessarily need to have a second one. Most of the kids, almost all, will have a first. Everybody's got to have a student email. So how do I populate this? The way that I do that is I get myself a list of all my kids, hopefully in alphabetical order. Most of you have this, hopefully. If not, your administrator could probably get it for you. And basically, it's a list of the kids' names. You may have to put the class in. It'll only take you a minute to do that. Their email and their guardian and parent emails. These are your kids, so you should have access to this information. And it's very important. There's a couple, well, just one formatting thing that's very important. The student name has to be first name, space, last name. Reason being, the email has their name included, and it looks better if it's their name actually like people would say it, and not last name, comma, first. So it's very important, first name, space, last name. And these are my headers again, name, class, student email, parent, and parent. And then, so that's one column. The next column over is the class, and then the student's email, parent email, and the other parent. Once I get this list in order, the way that I like it, I'm just going to go ahead and take everything, and I'm going to make a copy. Control-C, the entire list of the names. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to click into C2 right there, and I'm going to just go Control-V, and that's going to paste all that info in. And as you can see right away, this info is really small font. There's some stuff over here I don't like. It's really hard to read. Even if you have good vision, this may be hard to read. So I've built some things in that are going to fix this. Again, this is really easy. I made this as user-friendly as possible so that once you paste your stuff in, you are pretty much good to go. And once I have all of these things pasted in, all the student information, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little plus sign over here. This is my set button here, and it's going to run a script, and it's going to do authorization required. And basically, Google does this if you're running a script. Just make sure that you know that you want to do this. I made this for the school district. This is, of course, going to be okay. There's nothing crazy in here at all, not even a whole lot of lines of code. So I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to get my email address like that, and then I'm going to say allow. So it's going to allow this to work. And Sometimes when you do that, it stops the script. I'm just going to click the plus sign again, and it's going to run it. And then basically it changes everything to bigger font. I like this comfort of font, so it's nicer, and it's a size 15. You can change it if you want to by using the normal buttons at the top, but I kind of like this the way that it looks. Now, the example that I showed you before, these emails weren't visible. I think it's too busy to have the emails here. They need to be here for this to work, but I don't need to see them for this to work. So this button over here on the top right, it's hide emails. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and that's going to hide them all. Now, if I needed to make a change, if somebody said, hey, this is my email, can you fix this? I can just go ahead and click show emails, make an adjustment, and then hide them again. So whatever I want to do. So now that I've got that this way, it's going to come to you, the form, already with these little columns C and D with the filter already built in, and that's pretty nice. So you can filter by class. If you have multiple classes, you can filter, well, A to Z, whatever you like to do. You can't really do it by names because it's by first name, but you could filter first name A to Z if you wanted to. So these provide you some options that you can do. You click the clear here. I'm going to choose my tennis kids, and this just gets me all of my tennis kids. And then all you have to do is click the kids you want to send an email to, like that. There you go. And then you click send, and it's going to go ahead and send those emails. Now, when it does that, like I showed you on my example, it takes a couple seconds here. It's got to think. And then it makes those guys disappear. If you see over here, these are actually hidden rows. They're hidden so that I don't see them. It minimizes my list. But if I want to see, did I send an email to this person? When did I send the email? I have a little tab at the bottom, and it says, yeah, I got the notifications. Those emails got sent. Little tab at the bottom says sent messages, and this is a big long list of the messages that I sent today to all these parents. And basically for you, I formatted it. It's just going to say the time and the student that it got sent to. And the assumption is it went to all of the stakeholders, all of the emails that we have in our database. Basically it. That's how this sheet works. It's super simple. Now, of course, you're going to get to the end of the period, the end of the week, and you want to reset your form and get back to normal, and you don't want to have to do that whole process again. All you have to do is click the little reset button up here, and what that's going to do is unhide all the rows. And now if I go and unfilter everything, I'll select all those guys, then I'll have all my rows available again, and I can start all over and do it again. So again, super user-friendly, hard to break, almost impossible. Oh, one thing I will show you, you'll notice that column B is hidden. Keep it hidden. Don't mess with it. If you happen to open it up, there's actually a comment embedded in there that tells you what to do, how to fix it, but I need column B to stay there. That does one function that allows the whole thing to work. Hope you enjoy this. For those of you that want to use this and provide this service to your parents and your students, if you have any questions that I can help you with, or if you think of an updated sort of feature that I could embed to make it work better for you, let me know. Thanks so much. Take care.